Hi, my name is Sydney, and this year I'm designing my life. For the past 5 years, my husband Spencer and I have worked really hard to carve out our own little piece of paradise in this big, crazy world, and I'm happy to say that we did it. We really did it. A lot of things got us here. Luck, grit, sacrifice, and now we can reap what we sowed, and I'm really grateful for that. But this year, I want to take the time to figure out what's next. The past 5 years have taught me that growth happens during times of reflection and allowing yourself to be a little bored. So I'm giving myself permission to try new things and mess up and doodle and daydream and grow. And I think it's going to be really fun. So I've come up with 12 categories of my life that I want to work on, one for every month. Each month I'll do a fun challenge that coincides with that category. Some of these challenges will be silly, some will be more serious, but the important thing is to live my life by my design. So let's get started. So for the first month, I wanted to focus on clarity, getting all my ideas organized and laid out. My challenge to myself was to give up the internet for a month. I feel like I depend way too much on the internet to entertain me, to inform me, and to just generally shape me. I wanted there to just be one voice in my head. So here we go. A month. No internet. Now what? So far, I'm about a week into no internet, and so far it's not that bad. I really don't miss it that much. I still have that itch every once in a while to like pick up my phone or, just Google something real quick, but I feel like since I have ebooks from the library, it's really not that bad. But I have learned a bit about my habits, and I think there's definitely some things that I need to address. Like, I don't think that the internet is evil or it's a tool just like anything else. And so I think that it's really up to the user, aka me, if I use it for good or for harm. And a lot of the time I feel like I use it for harm on myself. Just through comparison and numbing. I feel like I definitely used just entertainment to numb my stress, and it's not gonna fly anymore. So anyway, here's a few things that I've learned. So far, I've learned that I am addicted to information. I just want something new and shiny in front of my face, like all the time. I want to know something immediately. Even without the internet, I was constantly looking through books for new information. And I found myself flipping through vintage magazines and reference books, and that was like my new scrolling, So yeah, addicted to information, noted, shiny new things in front of my brain all the time. That's what my brain craved. Another thing that I noticed was that I just got a lot more done, because I feel like for me it is really easy for me to get into a shame spiral by being on social media, and I don't know, by avoiding that shame spiral I was able to just get a lot more done because I wasn't just like It was just easier. I didn't overthink about doing things. It was just like, yeah, I got it done. Great. Move on. One of the big realizations for me in this challenge is that I have to relearn how to soothe myself, because I can't just be sad and then watch videos of puppies or kittens and, use that as a band-aid. Like, there's just not enough sloth videos in the world to heal your own issues. So I just don't want to put a band-aid on my emotions or on my feelings. I want to be able to deal with them in a more productive way. And I want to just find a healthier outlet other than entertainment. Another thing that I've noticed so far is that my confidence is a lot higher without social media. And I know this probably, isn't a surprise. Like, the fact that the internet and social media is like kind of bad for us has been beaten to death. We all know it. It's like carbon emissions. But like, how do you deal with that in a day-to-day life. I feel like we all have this little thing in our brain that says that social media is so necessary. If you want to get a job, if you want to do anything, like, you have to be on social media. And I've just really struggled with that for a while because social media does not make me feel good. And I've wondered several times if I should just quit it altogether, but I just don't think that's the answer. I feel like I need to find a more productive way to deal with it. But I will say that it was very nice to know that I don't actually need social media in my life. Like, I didn't really miss it. I was able to be more focused and to be a good mom, and I was able to focus more on like just being me. I feel like that's a really good perspective to have, just because I didn't want it to have any kind of power over me. And I feel like that's something that you can know intellectually, like my self-worth isn't wrapped up in how many likes I get, but whenever it's just like thrown at you all the time, I feel like somewhere deep down you can start to believe it, and that's a slippery slope, my dudes. Another thing so far is I feel like my brain is just a lot less noisy. My brain's a little bit sensitive. It likes to replay things. I don't know why, it just does, but like random sounds, it'll just replay for days, and it's enough to drive you a little bit crazy sometimes. One time I was at the grocery store and this old man farted in front of me, and I heard that wet fart for 3 days because my brain just replayed that sound over and over and over again. But just by like not giving my brain that much ammunition, everything just got a lot quieter, and it's very nice. I learned that I can't overstimulate my brain. I really can't do it. Netflix marathons and stuff, dude, I can't do it anymore. Like I literally can't. It just clogs up my brain. It's just a lot to process, and I feel like my brain is less overwhelmed. It just takes a lot of time and energy for your brain to connect all these random dots, make something that's like uniquely you. And I'm really glad that I gave myself the space and the quiet to do this. It helps to just rise above the noise and just see a clearer picture. So I already feel like a weekend, I feel a lot better, and I'm just gonna keep on plugging. It is now week 2 into no internet, and it was a little bit harder this week. I just had some feelings that I didn't want to be feeling. It's really making me realize how much I use the internet and just entertainment in general to cope, which I really don't like. I feel like I can't trust my own brain. And so I have to distract it or turn it off or mislead it somehow. And I just don't like that lack of partnership, I guess. And I feel like there's this little part of my brain that just wants to be heard. And I'm trying to just allow for that. And I know that that might open up some feelings and some anxiety and some pain, but I kind of just want to let it happen and do it anyway, because I feel like if I'm just shutting my brain down all the time, then I'm not using it, I guess. Or it's hard to discover the exact words for what you're thinking or feeling if you don't experience it a little bit more. And so I just don't want to numb myself. I don't think next week's gonna be much fun. And it wasn't. Week 3 was really hard. My brain just kept flooding me with, I don't want to say that there's like good or bad emotions, but they were undesirable emotions and feelings, and I just had to try to name them as best as I could, and name them, feel them, and lay them back down, because those things aren't serving me anymore and I don't need to carry them around anymore. So I just did my best to give them a name, to know that they had some purpose at some point in time, but not now, not in this moment, not anymore, and just let them go. Week 4 was decidedly better. My brain kind of cleared up. I was able to even just string sentences together more easily. I just felt lighter. And at the end of the week, it was time to like get back online or whatever. And I honestly was nervous, like downloading the app on my phone again and bringing up Instagram. I got like that weird little nervous butterfly feeling in my stomach, and I was just like, but I feel like now I have way more control and perspective on how I use the internet and how I use social media. So I'm extremely happy that I did this little challenge for myself. Something that I realized while doing this challenge and trying to just get my feelings and ideas written out is that I hadn't been telling my story, and by not telling it, I had given up any power of writing it. So, hi, my name is Sydney. And sometimes I'm really sad and I don't know why. I know that my little heart is like a garden. And I do my best to water it. Water the good things, weed out the bad things. But sometimes I feel like the bad things just take over. And no matter how hard I try to pull and root and get them out, they keep coming back stronger and stronger. And at some point, I'm worried that they'll overtake the flowers, the good things. It's just been a really long winter, and it's hard to have faith that those flowers will bloom again whenever they're just kind of dormant and husky right now. But the kind of story that I want to tell is to have been scared, been hurt, and then chose to love and try and dream anyway. That's my story. What's yours?